Welcome to Audits Without Anxiety, a roundtable panel brought to you by the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council. Before I introduce our expert panelists and our partner sponsor, let me share some brief housekeeping items. We'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please use your GoToWebinar control panel to ask our expert questions. Next, this webinar is CPE eligible with 4 polling questions. So please answer 3 out of 4 polls at least for CPE, or answer just to benchmark your peers, and please allow up to 1 week for CPE certificates to be sent to you via email. Also regarding CPE, you'll receive a brief survey directly after the webcast today, so please complete. And finally, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. With that, I'd like to share a word about our partner and sponsor, BILL. New York Stock Exchange, BILL, is a leading financial operations platform for small and mid-sized businesses. BILL automates the future of finance so businesses can thrive. BILL's integrated platform helps businesses to more efficiently control payables, receivables, spend and expense management. Hundreds of thousands of businesses rely on BILL's proprietary member network of millions to pay or get paid faster. Headquartered in San Jose, California, BILL is a trusted partner of leading U.S. financial institutions, accounting firms, and accounting software providers. For more information, visit bill.com. With that, I'm very pleased to introduce our expert panelists. Joe Turkewitz is Audit and Attest, otherwise ANA, and also National Practice Leader and Audit Partner for Citrin Cooperman, a top 17 CPA tax audit and technology firm based in New York City. Joe has significant experience working with SEC accelerated filers, inclusive of SOX compliance and their public filings. Joe is a licensed CPA in New York and earned a BBA accounting from Hofstra University. He's a member of AICPA and its Dynamic Audit Solution Advisory and Change Management Group. That's got to be complex. Christine Gu is SVP Finance and Chief Accounting Officer for Clarify Health Solutions. Christine is an active CPA with more than 20 years of F&A experience. Prior roles included VP of Finance, Chief Accounting Officer, Corporate Controller, and Public Accounting career at KPMG. Christine's experience includes both private and public firms from startups to public ready, and managed multiple IPOs and SPACs. She earned a BA in accounting from San Francisco State University, and I'm pleased to say she was Controllers Council 2022 National Controller of the Year. So welcome, Joe and Christina. Thank you for joining us today, and let's go on video. All right. So welcome, Joe and Christine. You're not going to believe this, but we're going to go right into a poll. And again, don't worry if you're just joining us, but let's launch this poll. Audits are often time-consuming and stressful, so per our title, let's go ahead and get a read on the audience. Audience, please answer this multiple choice using the GoToWebinar control panel for an easy multiple choice question. So no one has answered. Okay, here we go. Maybe we started it too early. So I'll give you several seconds to answer this. We'll see if our title was correctly title. And oh yeah, we got almost everyone voting. So let's just quickly take a look. Strongly agree 25, agree 68%. So there you go. Only 6% saying that they disagree with stress. All right, so that's kind of a fun one. So let's go ahead and get to our questions. And the first one is, what are the most common types of information or documentation internal and external auditors typically request? Joe, do you want to take that first?
Sure, and thank you, Neil, and welcome to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. So as an external auditor, let me start with a little bit of an apology here, because I certainly don't want this one to add any anxiety with the voluminous information that would be requested. However, do rest assured that we do train our professionals to be like ninjas and work in stealth mode to as much as possible, and recognize that finance teams have a full-time day job, not there just to service auditors. So some of the information that we generally request, let's start with trial balance and general ledger transaction level detail. So this is foundational electronic information is always the best. That general ledger or subsidiary ledger details, especially important that we maintain a minimum level of data quality, meaning specific fields and structure in a usable electronic format. This ultimately will reduce the burden later on. Then there's information that we request to understand the organization, things like significant contracts, credit facilities, leases, organizational documents, items like of that nature, and then narratives and flowcharts for internal controls and any testing that the organization might do internally. This helps auditors to baseline the organization and then ultimately design further audit procedures. From there, balance sheet accounts with reconciliations and account analyses and significant fluctuations in any accounts, we would generally ask for explanations. And then your typical type of items would be getting into the details, where from those subsidiary ledgers and general ledgers we'll ask for to substantiate some of the transactions that are there with third-party evidence. So things like accounts receivable, having cash remittance advice, or inventory purchases with vendor invoices and receiving documents. This is just validating the transactions that are ultimately recorded by the organization. And then one that is usually a little bit more difficult and a heavier lift would be any non-routine transactions. You'll typically hear auditors ask for memorandums supporting the application of generally accepted accounting principles.
Excellent. Christine, can you add anything? That was very thorough, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. Hi, everyone. I'm Christine, and really pleased to be part of this panel. Thank you to Neil and Controller Council to invite me to be part of this. Yeah, like you mentioned, Joe has already a very exhaustive list of information or documents that's typically needed. I don't have anything additional to add, but more so from I'm more from a corporate environment where sort of sitting on the other side of the table, right, compared to Joe. And so, yeah, from time to time, it's a lot of, all the devil's in the detail, right? For example, I would just say that when we prepare or provide information, make sure they're all ticking and tying, because there's a lot of times where I hear when we submit a PBC, but the PBC doesn't tie to the TD balance. So those are the things that typically I would make sure my team do a self-check before submitting those information to the auditor, so that the story can be tell, right? And there's to reduce like the inefficiency, the back and forth, and making sure, for all the information